Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that might seem small, but actually reveals one of the most beautiful and mysterious parts of Japanese society. It's something that visitors often notice but can't quite explain. Why is Japan so quiet? Why do people move, work, and live in such calm silence, even in the middle of a crowded city? In Japan, silence isn't empty. It's full of respect. It's a form of communication, one that doesn't need words. You see, Japan is a country where people believe that peace in public begins with peace inside yourself. And from a young age, we're taught something simple: don't cause trouble for others. That single idea shapes everything: the way people talk, walk, work, and even the way they apologize. When you walk through a Japanese train station during rush hour, it's full of people, thousands moving at once, but it's never chaotic. There's no shouting, no loud conversations, no ringing phones. You just hear the soft footsteps, the distant hum of the trains, and the quiet announcements echoing through the hall. Why? Because everyone understands that public space belongs to everyone. So the less noise you make, the more comfortable it is for everyone around you. In Japan, we call this meiwaku o kakenai, don't bother others. It's not a written law, but it's one of the strongest unwritten rules in society. From childhood, parents teach their kids to think about the people around them, not just themselves. When a child runs and shouts too loudly, their parent gently says, "Shh, you'll bother other people." That phrase stays in our hearts for life. On trains, people speak softly, if at all. We don't talk on the phone, not because it's forbidden, but because it's considerate. Our phones are on silent mode. No ringtones, no notification sounds, no music leaking from earbuds. Even if two friends are chatting, they do it in quiet voices, close to each other. It's not about being cold or unfriendly. It's about harmony. About creating a peaceful space for strangers to coexist. And this extends to every part of daily life. In apartment buildings, people walk softly in the hallways, avoid slamming doors, and keep their TVs or music at a modest volume. When someone moves into a new apartment, they don't just start living there. They introduce themselves. They visit the neighbors, bow politely, and offer a small gift, usually something practical, like hand towels or sweets, as a way of saying, "Please excuse any noise or inconvenience during my move. I'll do my best not to disturb you." That small gesture builds invisible trust between people who might never even talk again. It says, "I see you. I respect your space." Japan is full of these small rituals, quiet habits that keep society functioning smoothly without conflict or confrontation. They may seem unnecessary, but they form the foundation of harmony. And it's not just in homes or trains. It's everywhere. In offices, you'll rarely hear people talking loudly. Conversations are calm, respectful, and often indirect. Even disagreements are handled with quiet diplomacy. Because in Japan, losing your temper doesn't show strength. It shows a lack of control. True strength lies in composure. In cafes, even in the busiest cities like Tokyo or Osaka, you'll notice something: people talking softly, the sound of pages turning, the faint clinking of cups, but never chaos. It's like a shared, unspoken agreement to protect the peace. And the interesting thing is, once you get used to this atmosphere, you start to feel it physically. Noise begins to feel heavy, almost uncomfortable. Silence, on the other hand, feels refreshing, like fresh air for your mind. That's why Japanese cities, despite being dense and crowded, can still feel strangely calm. It's not the architecture, it's the people. It's how everyone contributes to maintaining invisible harmony. When I lived abroad, I noticed how different it was. People talk freely, laugh loudly, play music in public, or take phone calls on the train. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different cultural rhythm. But when I came back to Japan, the silence felt almost sacred. It reminded me that in our society, silence is not the absence of life. It's the presence of awareness. You become aware of the space, of others, of your surroundings. You learn to move gracefully through life, leaving as little disturbance as possible. This quiet discipline is visible even in how people walk. If you observe, you'll see that most Japanese people naturally keep to one side of the escalator, line up neatly at train doors, and avoid bumping into others. It's not enforced. It's just natural consideration. And here's something beautiful. This silence creates connection, because when everyone respects everyone else, there's a sense of trust, even among strangers. You can walk through a crowded city and still feel at peace. You can sit on a train filled with people and still feel safe. The quietness of Japan isn't coldness. It's kindness disguised as silence. Now, of course, this kind of culture doesn't come without effort. It's something we maintain consciously. When we move apartments, we notify our neighbors. When we have to do something noisy, like renovations or celebrations, we distribute small notes or gifts in advance, saying we're sorry for any inconvenience. These customs are more than politeness. They're an act of empathy. We might not say sorry 100 times a day because of obligation, but because it's a natural way to soften life's friction. A cushion between hearts. And yes, it starts young. In schools, children are taught to clean their classrooms together at the end of the day. They sweep, wipe desks, and even clean bathrooms. They learn that cleanliness and silence go hand in hand. Both are ways of showing respect to others. Think about it. In many cultures, cleaning is a task you do for yourself. In Japan, you clean for everyone. You create comfort for the next person who uses the space. The same principle applies to noise. You speak quietly, not because someone forced you to, but because you want others to feel comfortable. In Japanese, there's a phrase, kuki o yomu. It means to read the air. It's not just about guessing someone's mood. It's about sensing the atmosphere, feeling what's appropriate, and adjusting yourself to maintain harmony. And in many ways, silence is the purest form of reading the air. When everyone practices this awareness, society runs almost like a silent orchestra, thousands of people moving together, each playing their part without clashing. It's easy to overlook, but it's one of Japan's quiet superpowers. Of course, this doesn't mean Japan is perfect. There are moments when silence can be misunderstood, when people hide emotions, when communication becomes too indirect. But even then, the intention behind it is still kindness. It's still the desire not to hurt or inconvenience others. And I think that's something the world can learn from. The idea that restraint can be powerful, that peace begins not with rules, but with mindfulness. When you walk through Japan at night, the streets are calm. You can hear your own footsteps, the soft hum of vending machines, maybe the sound of cicadas in summer or rain on the pavement. It's peaceful in a way that makes you want to whisper, as if speaking too loudly would disturb the balance of the world around you. That's Japan, a place where silence isn't empty. It's full of care, respect, and invisible connection. So next time you visit Japan, notice it. Notice how quiet the trains are, how soft the conversations in cafes feel, how people bow slightly instead of calling out. Notice how that silence feels not cold, but calm, not distant, but kind. And maybe, just maybe, when you return home, you'll bring a little bit of that quiet discipline with you. You might start speaking a little softer, walking a little lighter, thinking a little more about the people around you. And you'll realize silence is not the opposite of communication. It's just a different language. A language that says, I respect you, I share this world with you. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this quiet journey through Japanese culture, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves discovering the beauty in everyday life. Until next time, stay mindful, stay kind, and maybe stay a little quiet. Arigatou gozaimasu.